good times. And then, partying was horrible. I mean, like sending him off on the Sunday.
Yeah. Hey, Blaine.
Oh man, what's up, Blaine? It was rough, man. It was the hardest thing I've done in my life, saying goodbye to him. But he's 18. He'll be 19 in a month here, so he's a grown dude. It's not like he's like a 14-year-old kid, and I'm sending him off to high school or something.
Right.
So it was cool. But then the second half of the trip was just me driving, man. I didn't do anything. I got through Quebec like that. Like I didn't.
You stop in Montreal at all?
No, drove through Montreal. Big shout out to Highway 40, the north side of Montreal, the island of Montreal. It is the worst road in Canada. The bumps, I'm sitting there just doing this like constantly. It was the worst, man. But so got through Montreal. I gassed up just outside of Quebec City, and then just kept going. I didn't even stop, man. I drove through like a really bad storm. Got to New Brunswick, crashed, passed out side of the road. There was a little, rest stop or whatever. Right. Stopped in New Brunswick. Then I was about 6 hours from the ferry, and I said, cool, let's just do the next 6 hours. Drove to the ferry, crossed that night. The ferry ride was great, rocked me to sleep. I was like a baby.
Right.
Slept beautifully, woke up, and then here I am.
How long was the ferry ride from there to Newfoundland?
About 6 hours.
That's a 6 hour ferry, really? Holy cow! Wow.
Yeah, well, they've got. If COVID wasn't here, they'd have two routes. They would have the west coast of Newfoundland route, which is only the 6 hours.
Yeah.
But then they'd have an east coast one that goes up to the east coast of Newfoundland, which is about a 14-hour ferry ride.
Okay.
And that's the one I would have taken because then it's only an hour and a half, 2 hours from where I am right now, right?
Gotcha.
Instead of driving across the island.
Gotcha.
But they do in the ferry. They're so tight about COVID. Like literally, they let you on the boat and they sent you to your cabin, and that was it. Like you didn't get. They gave you a little baggie of food and a couple of bottles of water, and they said go to bed. Like they didn't want you walking around in the boat or whatever, Right. So it was a well-oiled machine, man. I mean, and then.
Well, unlike down here where we're having upticks in infections, Florida, Texas, Arizona are the worst three states in the country right now because the rate has gone through the freaking roof. I mean, right. Florida's having 8,000 plus per day new infections alone. Okay. Because the governors of these states have decided that we're going to open up early and just make things worse. So,
right.
So again, like I said, I'm here till at least Labor Day now because of the influx of new positive testing. And I was out today.
I go out one day, didn't you?
What's that?
You had like 10K in one day.
Yes, we had there was a streak there. We had 10,000. I think. I mean, Saturday was terrible. It was like 10,000 people got as far infected and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know where we're going from there. Elliot's back. Can you hear me, Elliot? Can you say something? We can't hear him. Oh well.
I don't see him. Do you see him?
No, I don't see him either. But he's there.
Yeah.
I can't see or hear him.
Yeah.
There, and we still can't hear you. He's trying to get it. He's trying to get it right. But I only go out 2 days a week. Usually it's Sunday and Thursday to do any shopping I need to get done.
Right.
I've got a full mask that my sister made with Indians on the Indians logo on it, which we'll get into about that in a few minutes. But I've got a full mask. It ties it up. I also have two of these that I use, Browns. But the Indians one is more effective because it covers me more. So that's the one I've been using.
Well, I could say something about the sports team that it represents too, but we won't go there, right?
Yeah, I know. Like I said, we'll get into that in a little bit, but that's okay. But still, and Canada's done such a much better job of containing it and trying to bring the infections down than we have down here. So I mean,
it's also population based too. I mean, we've got 1/10 of your population.
Correct. Yes.
We actually have a higher rate of infection compared to you guys.
Yeah, we've got 328 million people in the United States. So I mean, it's
a lot of people, man.
A lot of people.
we got just under 40, I think. You know, I mean,
but then I mean, I'm seeing videos of people going to beach parties and lake parties in the lake, no masks, just laying it all out and partying and having a good time. And it drives me nuts because they're stupid. They're just being stupid.
It's all like there's the people that say that it's a conspiracy, and there's people that say that everything's being overblown. I mean, I'm right in the middle. I'm like, okay, take care of yourself and protect yourself, and just put on a mask. It's not going to kill you.
Right.
I mean, you know, you should have saw me and my kid when we were driving across the country. Like, I went through, like, I had a full bottle of hand sanitizer. Halfway through, it was done. Yeah. Like, we're just every second, every time I get out of the car, my son always had his mask on, and he got tested when he went back to Edmonton, and he's clean.
Good.
So, I mean, do I think that it's as easy as just walking outside your door and catching it? No, but you don't have to be an idiot about it.
Correct.
I mean, just protect yourself.
And then again,
that's my COVID drama. So,
Elliot, can you hear me now? And I can't hear you.
You can't hear you.
Not even on the phone, I can't hear you. Either you're on the laptop or the phone or whatever. I don't know, but I still can't hear you. Put something in the chat so we know what's going on, brother.
I'm reading his lips, man. I know what he's going on.
Try it now, Elliot.
Oh, no.
Now I got you now. There you go.
Ooh, echo.
I got to turn this speaker off. Hang on.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So we got
more echo.
We've got 6 screens, but only one that has audio on it from Elliot.
Only 2 people. Yeah. You got 6 screens, 5 people.
So what's going on with
that? Hey, go fuck with that mask for a while.
I know, right? What's going on with your audio on the other one?
I have no idea, dude. I'm gonna have to get with my tech guy.
Okay. Now, are you on your phone or are you on your laptop? Where you at?
I'm on my phone, dude.
Okay. All right.
I can't get no audio on my laptop. I can't even get the audio for the
intro.
For the intro. I couldn't get it to load up.
That sucks.
That's just a bit of a glitch, I guess.
I guess.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Right?
It happens to the worst and the best of us.
So, Elliot, you can welcome John back. He's running on
Hey, John,
DSL.
what's up, man?
He's running on DSL.
Ah, dude, DSL from like 1920. I think they invented the internet and then put whatever they invented in this house.
Hey, look,
that's
2 screens,
dude.
man.
That's weird.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see both of you now, Elliot. Yes.
You're gonna see me from 2 angles tonight.
Okay.
All right.
But anyway, yeah. And again, John.
Okay, first thing we gotta get out of the way. Okay, first things first. I've been waiting all week for this shit.
Okay.
Cam Newton to the Patriots. What's up, John?
Dude. Okay.
Couldn't wait.
Yeah. I hate Cam Newton now. Like, it's that simple. It's that easy. Dude, I used to be like a Cam Newton fan. Like, I was all for it. Hey, I was all for it, man. Let's do it. Superman. Yeah, let's get it. Yeah, great, cool. Nah, he's a bum now. He's a bum.
We actually broke that news on the Sports Nerds last week.
Yes.
All right.
Oh,
live on
I'm
the
sure
air.
It was because I was driving when I heard that. No, it wasn't. It was Sunday night. I didn't pick it up till the morning when I started driving.
Yes.
Right.
We actually broke that live on the Sports Nerds last night. All 2 people that were here heard us say it, so it's all good.
What's going on? How come there's only 2 people here? What the hell is going on?
I don't know. It's the host's fault.
It must be that overload of advertising going on.
Yeah. What?
The astute advertising.
Yeah, the one post that the host made during the week, and it wasn't even about the show; it was about something else.
I think we maxed out at half dozen.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, well, we actually got up to 6 or 7 before the show was over. People coming in late, as opposed to.
You guys can still hear me, right?
What's that? Yeah, I can still hear you.
Yeah, I got tired of watching myself move around down there, fish out of water.
So you put your phone down so you can't see you on the phone. We're going to see you on your.
Yeah, you can see the top of my desk. That's what you're looking at. Right?
You got to love technology. It's just great.
Yep.
So John, now Cam Newton's a bum.
Yeah, he's a total bum.
And you know what? What was funny is all the pundits and all the commentators throughout the entire TV sports world are still now picking New England to win the division because they don't have any respect for Buffalo.
That's fine. We like it like that.
Yeah.
Like we really, really like it like that. Hey, Cam Newton's a really good quarterback. Okay.
Yes.
But
he's a Patriot.
he's a Patriot, so he's a bum. I don't know why he wouldn't go to LA. Like why he would want to go there and then step in behind Tom Brady.
I will say this: he's coming into a culture where he's not used to being. Okay, he's gonna have he's gonna have a culture shock because he's used to being free and able to do what he wants.
Yeah, but wait a second, But he, you know what? With age, people change.
Yeah.
And they mellow. And I think that once he gets under Bill Belichick, right now, honestly, he's the best quarterback in the AFC East.
I will give him that, yes, because he's the only veteran really in the AFC East right now.
He's the only one with experience.
He's a former MVP. He's a former Super Bowl quarterback. All that stuff, right?
So he definitely comes in. Now the thing is what's he going to do to
John's
Buffalo?
face is priceless.
Yeah, John's face is priceless. Absolutely. But,
like I said, I've been waiting all week just to get the reaction.
He's a bum. You know how much I've thought about it since I heard it? Like, it's just like I don't even care. Like, it's like, whatever. I'm glad all these you know what they're doing to the Belichick fan club.
Yes.
You know, I don't care what all these pundits say, all these experts. Good. Make it New England. Make it they're the favorites. Good. That's exactly what we want.
Right.
So it's fine.
That's right, because y'all play good from behind.
Well, no, we got weapons now, man. I mean, you know, we actually got.
You know what? And I think Josh Allen is ready to step up. It'll be his junior season, his third year in the league. So who knows?
But you know that Bill Belichick is going to turn Cam Newton into a fucking MVP again.
I don't think so.
You know what? You know what? The Belichick system is so different than what Cam is used to, because Belichick's system is more of a pocket passer type offense. Right. Cam's not used to that. He's used to going on the fly, whether it be running it or passing it. Doesn't matter. Well, he's used to.
Leave it to Bill Belichick to adapt. Okay, because that's what he does.
We'll see.
He takes a situation and he makes it work.
Well, they
ain't gonna get Cam Newton for nothing.
There's been a few commentators out there who said that Cam may not start, that Stidham still might start, and Cam may be like a role like what's his face in New Orleans. So I don't know.
No, Cam will be the starter.
Yeah,
he will. Yeah. I think so. Why would they go out and get him?
A guy like Cam to be sitting on the bench coaching a kid,
especially when his contract is incentive laden.
Incentivized to 1 year, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He has to be on the field to make his contract come to fruition. So
he's a bum.
We're not going to see any preseason games to tell. So
yeah, the NFL's already canceled too. They might cancel the entire preseason.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think there's going to be any sports really, because now you got Mike Trout saying he doesn't want to play. Right. You got to me it's like this. Why are you gonna offer me a diluted product? You know what I'm saying?
Well, and then David Price today also announced he wasn't going to play.
He's not going to play.
Right.
There's a few people already that have announced that they're not going to play.
Plus, there's been a lot of announcements that that players have the virus now, and they're on the sidelines too.
Look, until there's a treatment and or a vaccine, they shouldn't be playing any fucking sports. Yep.
Well, and again, it's what's weird is that if you look at the sports across, and especially the soccer in Europe and England and all the Premier League and whatnot, they're playing because they were able to nip COVID and get a handle on it. We're opening up sports just because we want to. It's not because we're able to or it's safe. We're opening sports because we want to, because we want to.
Because it's the bottom line.
It's the bottom line. It's the money, and they want to get back to some sense of normalcy. So, I don't know. I mean, I just think what's gonna happen is we're gonna end up being under quarantine until 2021 for the rest of the year. We're not gonna be able to go anywhere because of the lackluster reaction and not taking it seriously. And to be honest, the majority of the country is taking it seriously, but there's that select few that are not, and that's what's causing the whole increase in positive tests and people going into hospitals and whatnot. So, and it's just, I mean, I'm not going to get into the politics of the whole thing because I don't want to go there. I don't care about the politics of the thing. It's people in this country, whether it be Arizona, Texas, Florida, or whoever it is in the U.S., they're being stupid. They're not taking it seriously, and that's my issue. They don't take it seriously. They think that it's going to go away by itself. They think it's not as serious as people think it is, when in fact stories are coming in time and time again about people who are in their 20s and 30s being on a ventilator. There was a kid that was like 5 or 6 years old that died of COVID, not this past week.
11.
Okay, he's 11 years old and died of COVID. You got people in their 20s and 30s dying from this. So I don't want to hear about.
Well, here's the thing. It's not, and you know what? It's not just people dying at those 20s and 30s, but it's people that actually survive and their health is fucked for the rest of their life.
Correct. Yeah, their health afterwards is still bad. So I mean.
So they're in a death sentence anyway.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, Jen, relax. I'm not going to get into a political diatribe tonight. I'm not going to do it.
Look, let somebody like LeBron James get the motherfucker and watch
Correct.
the NBA shit.
If one superstar gets it and dies of it, then all hell's going to break loose.
No, not even dies of it, but just gets it.
Right.
Oh, we got
It
one.
already happened.
Already have one.
Who?
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson.
But that's NASCAR. Nobody's paying attention to that. I'm talking about let one of the mainstream sports guys. One of the mainstream sports guys.
I think Jimmy Johnson is as a 7-time NASCAR Cup winner in one of the biggest.
Yeah, but right now, Bubba Wallace is the face of NASCAR, dude.
Well, yeah, but Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson is not exactly on the top of the list as far as conversation is concerned.
Well, no, but he is a 7-time NASCAR Cup winner.
I understand his accomplishments. I get it. So. I get it, and he coached a great team in Dallas.
Right. Nice. All right. But, again, if a superstar in the NBA or the Major League Baseball or NFL gets it, then there's going to be a new outlook on it and what's going on, okay? But it is what it is.
Well, you can't do nothing about it because, like you said, there's just stupid people. Like, what's his name? DeSantis said last week, he said, we need to allow people to make good choices. And I'm like, if people in Florida were capable of making good choices, you wouldn't be the fucking governor right now, dude.
Correct. That's another good point. Still.
So how the fuck am I supposed to trust them to make good choices about anything else?
Right.
I'll have to remember that for Abbott, too.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, but it just drives me crazy because, you know what? Again, like I was saying, I only go out 2 times a week. And I go out do errands and get groceries 2 times a week. And I got a full face mask that I wear. I wear it. I mean, it's on my face for a good hour and a half to 2 hours while I'm out. It doesn't bother me. I'm able to get through the whole time without worrying about it. I get a little sweat on my face from it. But when I get in my car, I take it down, I wipe my face, and I'm good to go with a rag, and I'm good to go. So it doesn't bother me to wear the mask, okay? It's not inconvenient. I don't hyperventilate. I don't lose oxygen. I'm able to breathe just fine. People are just being stupid.
I love the one doctor that came out and said, if you don't like wearing a mask, you're gonna hate wearing a ventilator.
Well, not only that, but if you want to get a little on edge, so to speak, there was a meme that went out I saw yesterday, the day before, that all these men complaining about wearing a mask for 30 minutes obviously have never gone down on a woman and made them finish. Because they, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's just
We've gone
Sorry, John. Sorry, John.
Muff diving.
Yes.
We went there.
We went there. Yes.
No, he went there.
That was the meme.
Anytime I bring up something like that, he jumps down my shit. he brings it up, and it's okay.
No, Jen, I don't breathe in carbon dioxide because I actually can get oxygen through the mask. Believe it or not, I don't breathe in carbon dioxide.
I just cut a hole in the mask. That's all.
Oh, God.
I'm
sorry to get a little dirty on the show, but, it is what it is.
Yeah, this is the rated X 2 minutes in the show.
We already know that this is a not safe for work environment. Okay, John's opening his Bible and saying 25 Hail Marys before we can go on.
I ain't Catholic. I ain't saying none of that.
I'm here, guys. I didn't go anywhere.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm
Okay.
excited.
So anyway,
I'm really excited to be here.
I'm glad you're back, John. We missed you. We really did.
We are glad
Well,
you're
hopefully
back,
next
man.
week. Hopefully next week I have actual internet and I can actually move around. I think if I start moving around too much,
You're gonna have the 1 terabyte at least within the next couple of weeks, so that'll be good. But just you're looking for a new modem here tomorrow, the next day, which is what you're looking for as far as getting that back on track. Maybe have a better connection next week. And so far, you haven't. I mean, you're little max headroom-ish, but not much. So
I'm fuzzy.
Yeah,
I'm fuzzy.
Yeah,
but it's okay.
Yeah, you're
the
good.
Zoom is fine.
It's
just the screen looks.
Yeah. Something I want to bring up, and of course, this made national headlines and big time because of the current environment. First, let's go with the Washington football team has been under pressure from outside sources about changing their name finally after years and years and years. Dan Snyder said at one point in time when he bought the team that he would never, ever, ever change the name. Well, that's changing.
Yeah, until FedEx came along and said, "Excuse me, fuck you."
Once your sponsors and your shareholders worth $680 million say you need to think about changing the name come into play.
FedEx said, whose name is on the stadium?
Correct. Yes. FedEx. You got FedEx. You got Pepsi. There's a lot of sponsors out there that pay good money to be advertised at FedEx Stadium through the Redskins. So they're getting a lot of pressure from their sponsors.
Pulled rank.
Right. They pulled rank, and of course, not just sponsors, but shareholders of the Washington team and of those sponsors as well are putting pressure on Dan Snyder to make a change. It looks like it's going to happen. Ron Rivera has come out and said that he's spoken to Dan Snyder for the last couple of months about the name of the team. There's talk about removing the statue of the original owner of the Redskins from RFK, and DC has said unless you change that name, you are not able to access and rebuild on the RFK site for a new stadium. They refused. So because right now they're in Maryland, they're not in DC, they're in Maryland. That's where FedEx.
Any ideas on names for them?
Warriors.
Warriors.
That's been thrown out here.
Also
Twitter,
Red Wings, not Red Wings, but Red Tails. Excuse me, which is a type of an airplane.
Washington Red Tails.
Yes. Okay. Also, I've heard.
How about the Washington fucking Liars, yo? How about that? That's all them motherfuckers do out there.
Yeah. Well, you can also put the DC Senators as well. That's also a name out there. So
Washington Warriors, man.
The Warriors are probably a better way to go.
Hey, you don't even need to change, too much.
You got to change the logo.
The logo,
but
I mean,
here's a question. Here's a question that hits closer to home for Scott. What the hell are they going to change the Indians' name to?
That's a great question. That's a segue into where I was going from there. Okay.
Well, that's because you took the subject you came up with. I was getting ready to talk about that.
Right, and Terry Van came out today and said, we've always gone out of our way to try and not to. How
about the Cleveland Wahoos?
No. They've always gone out of the way not to.
How about the Rockers? Because that's where the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Can you let me finish?
No,
let me finish, please. All right. I mean, I'm starting a sentence and you're interrupting me. Can I finish?
Hey, I'm trying to make up for my earlier lack of audio.
But Francona came out today and said that we've tried not to what's what I'm looking for? Try not to crap. I can't think of the name. Anyway, he said, but it's time to move on. Is basically what he's trying to say. And yes, the Indians put out a statement yesterday that they are going to look into and research the changing of the name. Some names that have put out there were the Spiders, which is what the Cleveland baseball team was originally made. It was one of the original names of the team.
Spiders?
Spiders, yes. People have put out, just call them the.
What does that have to do with Cleveland? Spiders?
I don't know. That was a baseball team that Cleveland had way back in the early 1900s or late 1800s. Was the Cleveland Spiders?
The Rust Belts.
Yeah, or we could do Cleveland Tribe, just Tribe as opposed to the Indians. That might be an option as well.
Perfect.
Okay. So I mean, they got rid of the Chief Wahoo logo 2 years ago. But I like the name Cleveland Tribe. It's not offensive. It doesn't it doesn't do anything. It just we can keep the same colors and just go with the Tribe as opposed to the.
This is the thing, and I read a lot of stuff over the past week because I can't do anything else here.
Right.
I've been the Lake Shores. Yeah.
Outside of going out and getting some moose, but you haven't done that yet.
Well, dude, the moose was great, guys. Yeah. I'll talk about that later. So as a white guy, it's not really my place to say. I can't really comment. But what I've read is that the big one, obviously, Redskins is
Wahoo.
Wahoo, look at that
cross country shirt from high school.
Nice.
Like Redskins is pretty.
It's bad.
That's bad. Chiefs, Braves, not so much, right?
Yeah.
Not so much.
Well,
Chiefs,
the Braves can get rid of that logo that they had, the screaming Native American on their logo. They can get rid of that, or the tomahawk, whatever. But yeah, hey, Eliana, how you doing, buddy?
Hello, Eliana.
That's what I've read, but whatever. It ain't my team, so you guys fight it out. I think the Redskins is obviously very, very suspect.
Well, yeah, and it has been for years, almost, decades. People have been screaming about.
Well, shit.
Hey, can you imagine if it was the Washington Blackskins or the Washington Whiteskins?
Right.
Dude, who thought that was a good idea to name that?
The original owner did back in the day. It was a massive racist.
That would have been the Confederates back in the day.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Back in the day, we used to play $60 games.
Yeah. But well. I have no problem with the Indians changing their name. I don't have a problem. I like the Cleveland Tribe. That doesn't offend anybody. It doesn't necessarily mean anything.
They call them the Tribe anyway.
Yeah, we call them the Tribe anyway. That's the nickname for them anyway. So I don't have a problem with calling them the Tribe. It's just
that would probably be the best thing.
I would think so. I don't like the Spiders because
get rid of the controversy. Yeah. You won't have to change a lot of the paraphernalia either, because a lot of their paraphernalia has.
But you know what?
Well, even to this day, the other thing that changed that the name across the chest on their jerseys is right. Indians. You can change that to Tribe. You can still wear the C on their hats. It's a change, but that has the least effect on their merchandise, if you want to go that far. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem with that. None at all.
But they just might change just for merchandise.
They don't change their colors and like that. Redskins probably aren't going to change their colors either. But again, that's more of a situation where they're going to make a major change to that team. It's not going to be anything close to what they're having now. They're going to change the logo. They're going to change the name. They may not change their colors, but they'll change those two things. They'll get rid of the logo and they'll get rid of the name. I don't know. Red Tails, Warriors, whatever. I like Warriors myself, but that's just me.
I heard someone mention the other day Renegades. Is that
Renegades? Hey, Christian.
Renegades.
I didn't see that. I didn't hear that, Kenny.
I thought, I can't remember if it was Twitter or where, but Renegades was suggested. I don't know. Renegades could apply to just about anybody, I think.
Right. Well, you can go back to the USFL days and call them the Washington Generals. Okay. But there's going to be a major change as far as Dan Snyder is concerned, and he's been pushing back and pushing back and pushing back. You can't push back anymore because the times that we're in, it needs to change. It needs to change. So.
Daniel Snyder is not the most cooperative person.
Well, he's one of the most hated owners in the NFL. He's one of the least liked owners in the NFL. He's right up there with Jerry Jones. He's one of those owners he's one of those owners that has to have his hands in everything, and it just when he does that, it screws the whole franchise up. The last time they won anything is what, early '90s?
Hey, let's just
the year before the Cowboys won their first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just.
Well, John doesn't like the fact that we have to mention the Redskins beat them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, or the Cowboys in that time.
I didn't mention who they played.
Wide right.
Wide right. Wide right.
You don't look so slanted there, John.
Oh, I'm definitely slanted. I'm wide right myself.
So what's going on with your floor? Is it the elevation, or is it just the way the house was built? What's going on with the floor?
Well, it's a 100-year-old home.
Okay.
Oh,
and the corner is sunken in, so it needs to get completely redone. The whole floor needs to get redone.
Wow.
And I'm not sitting here rolling in the COVID bucks like you guys are down there with that. What did you get? The $1,200 from Trumpy?
That was 2 months ago, and that shit got burned in 2 days.
Yeah, mine's gone too. Aren't you getting a monthly stipend from the Canadian government though?
Yeah, we get we get a bunch. Yeah.
$2,000 a month, I think.
We're all going to get screwed next year, tax time. But it is what it is. Let's see what happens.
Right.
So when the house was built, it was actually old Finland.
Oh yeah, it wasn't Newfoundland.
Oh, nice.
Downland.
Old Finland.
Get out of here, you crazy guy. Yeah. Dude, I'm high on moose right now, man.
I know. I could tell.
No, seriously, like there's a few things my family knows when I get here. So there's they had the saltfish ready to go, but the moose, saltfish, you can go to a store and buy it. You can go to the plant and buy it. Moose is like gold here, because the only way you can get moose is either you kill it yourself, and someone who killed one and they've got some.
Right. Yeah.
So my family brought a moose roast over for me. It was nice, nice size. Me and my mom, I seasoned it up today. We put it in
I'm sorry.
Do you see yourself going out with a shotgun and killing yourself a moose to have?
Oh, I will go and shoot every moose I see. Any time of the day, no problem.
Can you clean the moose and make steaks?
Well, I was talking to my mom about this. There's actually guys in town that you take your moose to, because you got to drain it really quick, right? You don't want it sitting. It gets really gamey if it's for too long. You want to cut it up and you want to package it and freeze it really quick.
Right.
So the one that we had was delicious. Like it was literally you put your fork in, the meat just fell off.
Yeah, and I remember having venison. It was really gamey when I had venison before. So.
Yeah, see, moose isn't gamey.
Okay.
If you clean it and it's good, it's not gamey. Okay. But if you let it sit, then it can get gamey. But it's amazing. It's a fantastic.
Better than beef.
Oh, better than beef. Oh, 10 times better than beef.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, night and day. Yeah. And there's no, you can't buy this, so there's no steroids. This is literally, the thing was walking around,
10
last
minutes
year.
ago, and now, yeah.
Yeah, now it's like on your plate, it was great. It's the best. So that's what my family had for me this week. They had it ready to go, so I seasoned it up today and put it in the oven, so. Just a bunch of potatoes, a bunch of veggies on it.
I saw the red potatoes are good, man. I like red potatoes.
Oh, yeah. Dude, just killed it. Yes. Killed it with the potatoes, the cabbage, the turnip, carrots.
Yep. I saw the carrots too.
Cook it all in the pot, man. That's it.
Put it in a slow cooker and just let it sit there, right?
That's it. We cooked it for probably 6 hours or so.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
Nice.
And it was amazing, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, well, it's the only way you can get it, Jen, because you can't go and buy it. In Newfoundland, this is the thing about living out here. You live off the land.
Yes.
There's grocery stores. Yes, there's Walmarts. Yes, there's all that stuff. But families generally have some dude they know that goes out, gets the fish out in the middle of the ocean, and they know some guy that goes out like a crazy man and goes and kills moose all year.
Okay.
So this is just the culture here.
Do you have chickens on where you're at, John, or no?
I can have chickens. So I haven't done anything because I can't leave the house.
Right.
I actually have a list of things.
Yeah. So, guys, just to be clear, John is under quarantine because he has traveled from Edmonton to Newfoundland, and now we have him on a 2-week quarantine. He can't go anywhere.
Almost a week is up.
Yes, 8 days, right?
Yes.
Or no?
So I got another 8 days or something left to go. So I can't do anything, but I'm planting the garden. We got a nice little place we got a raised bed already built. Good to go there. Yeah. There's a chicken coop that needs to get rebuilt. Okay. So I got to basically do that completely. But when I was growing up here, my grandparents had, they'd walk out in the morning, get the eggs from the hen house and come in and fry them up. I mean, that was just the way it was here. So it is very country, but
which you like very much.
I've never done it, like I was here when I was a kid and, like summers, my family would ship me off here to, spend the summers, but I've never lived in this type of environment. I'm a city kid.
Right.
But I'm done with it. I'm done with the crazies, man. Like I saw what happened when we ran out of toilet paper. I'm done, man. I don't want to be around people. Like I'll be around you guys because you're online and hi,
Because your internet friends are your only friends.
Internet friends are fine. I just don't want to be around people anymore, man. I don't trust people. They're weird. Yeah. I love people, but I don't love crowds, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
Anyways, that's my
well, good. And you can get some chickens, you can raise some chickens, have some fresh eggs, and you can slaughter one or two a week and have chicken breasts and chicken thighs and chicken legs for dinner and shit like that.
Hell
so absolutely.
Chicken and dumplings.
Chicken and dumplings. There you go. Make your own.
I don't think my wife will like me killing the chickens. I think we're gonna have them as pets to just have eggs.
Okay. All right. So you have to go to Walmart to get your chickens.
There's no way in hell she'll let me go hanging up to drain. Like, are you
or after you cut the head off, them running around with their head cut off.
Oh, I've seen it happen.
I've seen it. I saw it when I was a kid. Yes, I saw it when I was a kid.
My family here, about a couple hours away, has a chicken hatchery. Like they got a whole farm of chickens, and that's what they do. I was terrified as a kid. You'd go there and you just see them, they're running. Okay, so
correct. Yes. Yeah. For those of you that don't believe it's true, it is true. When you cut off a chicken's head, it will still run around after it's been cut off until it finally just falls off.
That's where that's.
It takes like a minute or two to happen, but it does. It happens.
That's where the saying comes from, right? The old adage?
Walking around like a chicken with its head cut off. Yes, that's correct. Yes. It is true. It does happen.
Creepy.
It is fact.
It's really creepy.
And it is really creepy. You're right.
Well, that's the thing. It's the alien and the bears thing.
About 8 years old. Yes, it is true.
Yes.
Oh, it's true. It's great. It's fun. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Don't give them
names. Like, right, Clark. You don't give them names.
Well, this is the terror that my wife has. This is the biggest issue. It's not like, she's sad, she's leaving her family, this and this and this. The biggest terror she has is that there's bears here. And I'm like, I'm 43 now. I've seen one bear my entire life here, and I was driving and it was on the side of the road.
Is she a city girl or is she a country girl?
1-0 on me then.
Well, she's a city girl, but she thinks she wants to be a country girl. Right? Well, she wants this, but she doesn't.
She doesn't understand what she's getting herself into.
She's doing a spinoff of Green Acres.
Pretty much. Yeah, man. It's just it's different. It's going to be different.
And it is going to be different. Yes.
It's going to be interesting. And I said, let's give it a year or two.
Right.
See how it goes.
Right.
If we hate it and John, it's horrible,
no rent.
Well, the house was paid off in 1940.
Yeah, no rent.
And it's got natural water source.
No rent.
It's spring. There's a spring that comes right into the house.
No mortgage. All you got to do is pay utilities. All you got to pay.
And the only utility here is electricity. That's it. Because there's no furnaces here.
What about when you get your internet? Isn't that going to pay and cost that?
Well, yeah.
I'm just going to say your internet probably ain't worth shit out there.
No. It's actually no. It's just I told you before you got on what happened. My mom's got a modem that's 8 years old.
Oh shit!
And it has never been updated. And
it's DSL too, right?
That's an Oldham. That's an Oldham.
Oh, it's an Oldham. Yeah. What happened, Scott?
It's DSL, isn't it?
It's DSL. But like this is the funny thing. I'd be FaceTiming her, and it would just cut out poor connection. I'm like, Mom, get it fixed. Like, just call them up. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I gotta go change my modem too. That thing's running like shit.
Dude, this thing is like ancient.
Well, and again, you got the big company coming out on the 16th. You said
16th. The big company's coming, but the company that we're with now is sending a new modem tomorrow or Tuesday.
Okay.
So crossing fingers that should.
So for
it's
the
not
meantime, that's
be,
going to be what you got, and you'll be able to work with that.
It's still DSL, but it's
Right.
not going to be.
But it's not going to be like high speed internet. It's not going to be the high speed stuff that we're used to.
No.
But when the big company comes in, you're going to have a terabyte of.
Oh yeah, when a big company comes in, I'm good to go, man. I got like super speeds. I got triple the speed that I had in Edmonton when the big boys come out.
There you go.
So that's good. But
yep.
Until then, I'm reading a lot of books, and I'm. Yeah.
You're not allowed to go anywhere.
I can't go anywhere. So
you can't go to the store. You can't go shopping. You can't find. Is there a bookstore where you can go to eventually?
The closest bookstore is 3 hours away.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah.
By the time you get there, you're too tired to read.
Exactly.
So if there is a trip to the bookstore, it's going to be an all-day affair.
Yeah, that's the big city, right? Well, the big city.
You're going to pass out in the lounge.
200,000 people here, so.
On the entire island.
Well, there's 500,000 people on the island.
Okay.
And then like 200 live in the main city, and then there's the suburb city there that's got another 50,000. So like half of the population lives in St. John's or the St. John's area.
St. John's, I recognize the name. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
St. John's Boards, right?
St. John's Ice Dogs.
There you go.
The AHL team. They had an AHL team. Now they got a Quebec league out here. So.
At least you got some hockey to watch anyway.
Oh, dude, this is Newfoundland. I mean, it's diehard.
You still gonna root for the Oilers? You're gonna stick? You go back to?
Oh no, I'm still Oilers, dude. I was an Oilers fan when I lived in Toronto, so it doesn't change, Yeah. The games will come on at 3 a.m. now.
Yeah, for reference sake, John is 90 minutes ahead of Eastern time.
Yeah.
So right now it is 9:15 in where he is right now.
You know what that means? He can't bail on the show because he wants to go to the store.
I know. So there's no stores to go to, bro. There's no more stores to go to. I mean, literally.
Exactly.
No, you know what's funny? Like, I grew up here, and it was a sleepy town when I came here in the summers.
Yeah.
There's an actual drive-through. There's a coffee store drive-through in the town now. I'm like,
luxury. You're in heaven. You're
luxury.
You're good.
Luxury. So, anyways, that's my.
So what is?
You can't go there for another 8 days.
30 minutes.
Go there for 8 days.
What's that? I didn't hear a word. Both you guys.
What'd you say, Kenny?
I don't know what.
I was asking him what's the deal with the 30-minute interval for Newfoundland,
as opposed to an hour, as opposed to an hour and a half.
Close to an hour, yeah.
That's because they're right on the timeline, so they're split on the second half. Maybe that's Canadian translation of time. I don't know.
You still there, John? We lost him.
No.
We lost him to Newfoundland internet.
Yes, we lost him. Yes, he froze up.
Okay, well, now's as good a time as any to go to the polls.
There you go.
I knew I'd get it in there.
I know, right?
All right, so let's see, guys. First up, we got what? Catchers?
Yeah, go with catcher.
Catchers.
Go with catchers. Hang on just a second now. Do you have the list in front of you?
Give me a second, I will.
I have my list.
I wrote my list down.
Oh, did you? Okay, good. Because I did make an effort to make it easy for you guys. If you look at the TV screen.
Yeah, I see it. I mean, we can't see that far. He's back. Is he back? John, you back?
No. That's pretty good.
Unfrozen?
45 minutes in,
It's not bad though, John. It's not bad.
Anyways, like I was saying, Ken, Newfoundland had to be unique.
Yes.
They had to add an extra 30 minutes. Instead of just being with their Atlantic brothers and sisters on Atlantic time, we had to go a little bit more.
What is up with that, man? Just to be different or what? Huh?
I've seen Oh, he's lost.
And he's froze again. We lost him again. Okay.
Hey, Ship
He's got
Freeze
the
is up
video,
there.
He just lost the audio, I think.
Yeah. He may just need to go to audio. Elliot, before we get going, I'm going to go grab a refill. I'll be back in a second.
Do your thing, man.
All right.
I'm getting set up.
All right. I'll be right back.
What up, Ken?
Oh, Elliot.
Just another Sunday.
Dry again today.
Just another Sunday.
I ain't doing the audio. I'm not doing the video. Just to do the audio.
Okay.
Because obviously
Yeah,
the interwebs can't handle it.
You're putting a strain on your resources there.
I know. My mom might be checking her phone, and that just killed it too, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. DSL.
Old party line.
Digital subscriber line. Oh yeah.
Oh well. So what happened? Scott left. Huh?
Yeah, he went to go get a refill.
Wow.
I should too.
And we're about to blaze through our last 4 polls of the MLB. As soon as I find where the fucking catchers are.
Right, so John's audio only now?
Yeah, dude. I'm not even trying with the video.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine. So the lists, the subjects of tonight's poll are top 10 catchers of the decade. We're doing 2010 to 2019. Top 10 starting pitchers of the decade. Top 10 relief pitchers of the decade. And then after that, we go to the top 10 managers of the decade.
Givers.
Okay. So Elliot put these polls together. I have a mental kind of idea where I want to go, especially when we go to managers. But that's just me. Anyway, but go ahead and start, Elliot, with the catchers first.
Okay, so who's voting on number 1?
Well, you got for references. Go ahead and read off the list of
okay.
The
list of catchers. Okay, the candidates are Francisco Cervelli, Wilson Ramos, Matt Wieters, Carlos Ruiz, Brian McCann, Buster Posey, Yadier Molina, Russell Martin, Jonathan Lucroy, and Salvador Perez.
Out of those 10 nominees, I recognize Buster Posey and Yadier Molina. Those are the 2 names I recognize.
You don't remember?
You want to recognize Brian McCann?
Not really.
Brian McCann. He played for the Braves, the Yankees, the Astros. He's played on a lot of winning teams.
Okay, I believe you.
Let's see. Carlos Ruiz. He was big with the Phillies in the late 90s. Wieters was supposed to be this big, tremendous catching prospect for Baltimore.
That's the problem. He's Baltimore. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's where prospects go to die.
Right.
He's from this area. He's from where I live. I mean, so he's local legend around here.
Charleston?
Yeah.
Okay.
Goose Creek.
Which one, Bob?
Matt Wieters.
Oh.
Maybe I've heard of Cervelli. It's vague, but
Cervelli played for the Yankees. He did some damage with them.
That's probably why I remember him, because he played for the Yankees.
And then he went to the Pirates in a trade.
Yeah. So I'm going to put Buster Posey as my number 1, and then Molina number 2. And from where I don't know where to go. I'm
Anybody else?
Casual fan over here. Kenny's the diehard baseball fan. Kenny knows these guys better than I do. A lot better than I do.
I will give you my 5.
Okay,
Go ahead,
give me
Bob.
your 5.
Good, Kenny.
Go ahead, Bob.
Either of you guys, give me 5.
Bob, go ahead.
I got Buster Posey, Yadier Molina, Russell Martin, Brian McCann, Matt Wieters.
Okay. I have number 1, Buster Posey. 2, Brian McCann. 3, Yadier Molina. 4, Russell Martin, and 5, Carlos Ruiz.
Okay. And you're already in, right, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
You did 1 and 2.
I'm
and
going
said,
Posey number 1, Molina number 2, and that from there.
Who the hell are the rest of these guys?
Right.
Okay, so number 1, Buster Posey.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's only obvious because he won what, 3 World Series in the freaking decade?
Yeah.
Right. And he was a pretty big star in all of them. Anyway, number 2, Yadier Molina.
Nice. I got 1 and 2 right. All right. I'm good.
Get that boy a Cupid doll.
Thank you.
All right, number 3, we got Russell Martin.
Kenny's 3 for 3. Nice.
I'm three.
You guys got the first 3?
I got the first 3.
All right. I bet you didn't get number 4.
Where are they going with number 4?
Jonathan Lucroy.
Really?
Number 4.
Really?
Solid. I mean, a lot of these guys were solid for a long time, but I wouldn't consider them elite or anything.
And it's for the decade.
Yeah,
It's what
I know.
they accomplished in the decade. And
I
by
know.
far, Buster Posey accomplished the most.
Oh,
Yadier
for
Molina
sure.
was definitely a close second.
Yeah.
Russell Martin did some stuff with, L.A. and I mean, he played with Toronto for a little while too. I'm sure he
Uh-huh.
did some.
You played with
Yeah.
Yeah, there goes John. He's there now.
See, you bring up a Toronto reference, and he's all in.
I'll say this about Jonathan Lucroy. When he played for the Rangers, he looked like Captain Obvious.
Captain Obvious.
Had that big
Captain
full beard.
Obvious.
And,
Okay,
Yeah,
and then
Bill
number,
Clarky, I agree. Not many Hall of Famers in that group. I totally agree with you on that one, Clarky.
No, they're not Hall of Famers, but how many exactly Hall of Famers come from the catching position?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
not a lot anymore.
Exactly.
It's gonna, there's not a lot of Hall of Fame catchers. I mean, you got Yogi Berra, you got Thurman Munson.
Catchers of the real recent
Pudge
decades.
Rodriguez could be a Hall of Famer, I think. So yeah, that's 80s and 90s.
Those are Midland catchers. These are
Yeah.
Midland catchers back
Correct.
in the 80s and 90s.
Right.
Okay. When you had guys like Veritek and
Yep.
crazy motherfuckers like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, at number 5, we got Salvador Perez with Kansas City.
If you say
Played the
so.
entire decade with him. Number 6, Brian McCann. He did a lot with all the teams that he's been with. Now he's back with Atlanta. Is he going to re-up or who knows?
His best years with Atlanta.
Carlos
Right,
Ruiz,
we'll
number 7. Matt Wieters, number 8.
Right, Clarky.
Wilson Ramos, 9. And Francisco Cervelli at 10.
Okay, just if we go with different lists for different sports, word of advice: scramble the names up more. Because I'll tell you, your list went Posey, Molina, Martin, LaCroix, Perez. That's the bottom 5 on the list. And then your top, and the other ones were McCann, Ruiz, Winters, Ramos, and Cervelli. That's the top 5.
I don't have a scrambler, dude, so I got to type this all out myself.
I'm just saying.
I didn't hear you volunteer to type it and send me a file all mixed up, okay? You could easily do that once you get the list.
I know.
You don't like the way it started out? Send me a copy of a good sort for it. Anyway, honorable
constructive
mention.
criticism, brother. I'm not being harsh. I'm constructive.
I know. And I'm constructing back.
Like baseball.
Right?
Your honorable mentions are Alex Avila, Wellington Castillo, Yasmani Grandal, JT Realmuto, and Kurt Suzuki. Now, when you got honorable mentions like that, you know what I'm saying? You can tell how weak the catcher position
Catcher position is pretty weak in the
really
2000s,
is.
yes. Catcher position is pretty weak in 2010, 2020.
I played some fantasy baseball, so I know a lot of these guys. So.
Yeah, but you don't have any Hall of Famers in this group. You really don't.
No.
Buster. Other than Buster.
Not unless
Maybe.
they buy a ticket.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about comparing them to guys like Carlton Fisk and Johnny Bench and Thurman Munson and Pudge
Gary
Rodriguez.
Carter, man.
Yeah,
Gary Carter.
I mean, you can't. The
Pat
standard is too
Borders.
high. The standard is just too high. It is.
I'm hearing a bunch of Canadian players.
And Thurman Munson.
Right?
Thurman Munson.
That must be John.
Thurman Munson, despite being with the Yankees, was one of my heroes growing up because he was from Ohio. That's why. So, but I love Thurman Munson, even though he was on the Yankees.
Okay, are you guys ready for some starting pitchers?
Let's go starting pitchers. The list: John Lester, Jacob deGrom, David Price, Zach Greinke, Cole Hamels.
This is the past decade?
From 2010 to 2019, yes.
Jeez.
Clayton Kershaw, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, Chris Sale, and Madison Bumgarner. I know every single one of those pitchers on that list. Those I'm very familiar with.
Yes.
You just don't know the fuckers they throw them to.
No. No, and I have a feeling because I'm going to give you my top five.
Well, he already figured out. It's easy for him now that he's figured out the.
Well, yeah, but I'm going to tell you what my top five is, despite what.
That's what I'm saying. It's subjective. Your top five could be different from everybody else's top five.
Right. I would put, despite all his accolades, I would not put Kershaw number one. I would put Verlander number one, Cole Hamels number two. I like Madison Bumgarner as number three, Kershaw number four, and then Scherzer number five. Well, I said Scherzer. Did I say no? No, didn't. Scherzer number five. Did I pick Kershaw twice?
I think you got the top five just in the wrong order.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I'll go with mine.
Go ahead. Give me your five.
I got Kershaw, Verlander, Scherzer, Bumgarner, Greinke.
Okay. You got the. Okay. Who's next?
I got that same five, except I got a different order. Number one, I got Max Scherzer.
Okay.
Number two, I got JV.
Okay.
Three, I got Greinke. Four, I got Clayton Kershaw, and five, I got Madison Bumgarner.
Okay. Greinke didn't make the top five.
Wow.
Number one, Clayton Kershaw, and I'm pretty much sure this is all about his regular season.
Not his postseason, correct? Because David Price doesn't belong in it either. David Price is
garbage.
Yeah,
he's garbage in the postseason.
He's on the same level as David Price as far as postseason pitchers. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yep.
Well, and that just happens. There's been some great pitchers in this league.
Yes, there is.
Over the years that have totally stunk the house out when it came to playoffs.
Yeah, Kershaw's a Hall of Famer in my book, 100%.
Yeah, he's a great regular season pitcher.
Correct.
Okay, but you can't count on him. Here's another one you can't count on. Number two, Justin Verlander.
Right. His wife is awesome. I love her, but yeah, so what?
Look, when he gets into the playoffs, it's a different animal. They stroked him around. Washington was handling his ass.
Correct. He's still with Houston, right?
Yeah, he's still with Houston.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he's never been I think he's winless in the playoffs. In postseason.
No,
despite winning two
World
Series in that decade.
2017. He was on the 2017 championship team. This is his only championship.
Yeah. So
he was only one. Okay, he was Detroit with the first one. Okay, I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah, he didn't put him over the top again this past year either. So that was.
So he was on the cheaters team in 2017.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And they even had Garrett Cole and they couldn't win it. So, number three, Max Scherzer,
World Series,
Mr. Two different color eyes.
Right.
Max Scherzer at number three, Chris Sale number four.
Traitor.
The reason I didn't put Sale so inconsistent. When he's on its game, he's almost untouchable. But when he's off.
What are the Yankees getting with him this season, though? That's my question. You know what I'm saying? What are the Yankees going to get with him this year? That's my question. Do you think he's going to be?
Sale?
Yeah, is he going to be
Sale's
their
on the
ace,
Red
or is it
Sox.
going to be somebody else?
Yeah.
Did he?
Well, shit, Tanaka got nailed in the head yesterday.
I saw that,
Mhm.
but Tanaka is according to what they said is fine. He didn't get.
No, he's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was that was a Giancarlo Stanton
Hey,
shot. Those
Scott,
ain't-
Scott, I'll be right back. I just
Where you
need to
going?
get something.
Oh God.
I'll be right back.
Okay,
Thanks.
John. Thank you, John.
You're not on your 900 line. You can speak. You can speak with a little more bass
you
there,
think
John.
Chris Sale will be effective in New York, Ken?
He doesn't
Sale's still in the Red Sox.
Oh, was he? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I thought it was the. I thought. Okay.
I was going to say, I didn't hear nothing about Chris Sale.
I'm sorry. I'm
going to
thinking
the
of Cole
Yankees.
Hamels. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Cole Hamels. I
Hamels.
apologize. Yeah, Hamels.
I don't know what he's going to do. There's no telling.
Yeah.
It's all about how he handles the media.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the New York media is just brutal. Brutal.
We'll rip him apart.
Yes.
Yep. And he comes in at number 6, by the way, Cole Hamels,
Okay.
for the decade. Number 7, Zach Greinke.
Mm-hmm.
I think Greinke's problem is he's been on obscure teams for most of his career.
Very,
Right.
very much so.
Yeah, it's been.
You know, he's lived his life in obscurity.
Yes.
because he played for the Royals too much.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you know he never wanted to play with any of the big time teams. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, David Price, number 8. Obviously, that's not postseason either.
No, it's not.
No.
I mean, he won a Cy Young when he was with the Rays. He's been with the Blue Jays, the Red Sox, and now he's with the Dodgers. He's actually opted out of this season, so he's not going to play. He's a great regular season pitcher. I love David Price. He's a great Twitter follower in case anyone wants to follow him on Twitter. But as far as postseason, he won one game with the Red Sox when they went to the postseason, but he hasn't won anything with any other team. When he was with the Rays, he lost two games in the World Series with the Rays. I like David Price a lot. I have a lot of respect for him, but he's just not a great postseason pitcher. He
was overhyped, man. Come on. He was overhyped. And he didn't live up to the billing.
Clarky brings it up. Kenny brings up Verlander is 8-1 in the ALDS, 6-4 in the ALCS, but 0-6 in the World Series.
0-6 in the World Series. Yeah, that's where I knew he was winless.
Yes, 0-6 in the World
remember
Series.
they played either the Cardinals or the Giants one year, and he just got ripped of it.
Thank you, Clarky, for bringing that up. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Number 10, John Lester.
Lester extremely.
Go ahead.
Lester's a good pitcher, but is he past his prime? Ken, do you think?
Well, he made it past the cancer scare.
He's well past the prime. He hasn't done anything with the Cubs.
No.
Well, I think the cancer thing shortened his prime.
Correct.
You know, so when he came back, he was living on basically borrowed time, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I think Bumgarner's also past his prime. I think he's great, but he's still past his prime, I think. I can
Honorable mentions, Felix Hernandez.
Okay.
Jake Arrieta.
Yeah.
Johnny Cueto. R.A. Dickey. Gio Gonzalez. Corey Kluber.
Finally. Hello.
CC Sabathia. Steven Strasburg. And Adam Wainwright.
Kluber. God. He's got 2 Cy Youngs. Give me a break.
All right, let's move on to relief.
Even though he's no longer with the Indians, I don't care. He's with the Rangers now, if I'm not mistaken.
One, you need.
He was interviewed yesterday.
If you can't get number 1 on this list, you just need to go home.
Corey Kluber is the man.
Relief pitcher.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Corey Kluber is the man. All right, let's go to relief pitchers.
Of the decade, who's number 1?
It better be Mariano.
Mariano only played from 2010 to 2013.
So it's only 3 years. You can't really say that. So here's the top 10 relief pitchers.
The fact that he's in the top 10 and only played 3 years in the decade tells you something.
Let me read the nominees off, Elliot. Okay.
He was one in the previous decade and the decade before that.
Yes, exactly. let me read off the nominees, shall I? Hello, Janelle. Good to see you. I'm glad you're back. Anyway, the nominees are Mariano Rivera, Tyler Clippard, Greg Holland, David Robertson, Fernando Rodney, Craig Kimbrell, Kenley Jansen, Aroldis Chapman, bust, Wade Davis, and Zach Britton. I hate me some Aroldis Chapman. I can't stand
Well,
it.
you know,
So,
Hey,
all right.
Chapman tried to give you guys a World Series and you didn't
He
take it.
tried, but it didn't work out very well. All right, so Mariano Rivera was great in the 90s and the 2000s, but he wasn't great in 2010 and 2000. I mean, he only played 3 years in that decade, so I'm not giving him number one. As much as I love Mariano Rivera, I'm sure Elliot is one of his heroes.
Like I said, I'm good with him only playing 3 seasons
Correct.
in the decade.
Still making the
and
top
still
10.
finishing in the top 10.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that, so I had him as 1.
All
Well,
right.
yeah.
so did I.
He's number 1 all time, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that
Rivera
goes
is
without
probably one of the
saying.
He
greatest.
did more in
Mariano
he did more
Rivera
in the
is
first
one of
3
the
seasons than anybody else in the list. He's done in
Mariano
10.
Rivera is one of the greatest relief pitchers in the history of baseball.
He is the greatest
the
relief
greatest.
feature. Okay, the greatest.
Okay.
He obliterated the saves record that Trevor Hoffman held for so long.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, he obliterated it. He didn't just pass, he obliterated it, okay?
Mr. Sandman himself,
That, one,
right?
that one's going to be safe for a while, too.
Yeah. Enter Sandman himself.
That was the
That was
man,
his
I'm gonna
theme
tell
song.
you when that song came on,
Yankee Stadium was going crazy. Yes, chills.
goosebumps, chicken skin, all
Yeah.
kinds of shit, yo.
Yeah, take your 20
'Cause you knew.
shoving up your ass.
You knew it was game time then.
Yes.
All right, so who do you got at number 1? I mean, I know you said Mariano Rivera, but
I'm not gonna go Mariano, but you know I'm gonna let the other guys go first as far as
go ahead.
Bob, go ahead.
I had Mo number 1.
Bob, go ahead.
I
Mo
still
number
had him
1.
number 1. And then
Who do you
I
got
had
number 1?
I had Mo number 1. I had Kimbrel number 2. Aroldis Chapman 3. Kenley Jansen 4. And David Robertson 5.
Isn't it amazing when people will vote somebody number 1 that's played 30% of the decade?
Yeah. He did more in 3 seasons than the rest of them have done.
Any list with Mariano Rivera on it, you got to go Mariano number 1. I'm sorry. Any list.
I had Mariano Rivera. Chapman.
But he didn't. But the Yankees didn't win the World Series in that decade either. So that kind of doesn't help his.
Don't matter. Go ahead, Bob. Continue.
All
I
right.
had Chapman 2, Jansen 3, Kimbrel 4, and believe it or not, I had Fernando Rodney 5.
Wow.
Joe Carter for the win.
Mr. Bow and Arrow.
What'd you say, John?
Joe Carter for the win.
That's great. Straight out of left field. Okay, so anybody else?
No.
Great over left field.
Number 1, Craig Kimbrell.
Give me a fucking.
Although it didn't go well for him with the Cubs in 2019, he did have a pretty good stint with the Red Sox.
Really good stint with the Braves.
Yeah. I mean, he did it fine until he got to the Cubs. Nobody even knew that he was with the San Diego Padres for 1 season.
Yeah, his best years with Atlanta.
The only thing I didn't like about him that really fucking irritated me was that pitching stance.
Yeah.
The fucking Karate Kid modified, the crane modified and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, talk about another Dodger that can't pitch for shit in the playoffs. Kenley Jansen. Kenley Jansen's blown more playoff fucking victories for Dodgers than anybody I can remember, dude. Another great regular season reliever.
Right.
Yep.
This you, Janelle.
At number 3, Scott's favorite, Aroldis Chapman.
Fuck him.
Like I said, he tried to give y'all a win, and you guys didn't take it.
I love my
Number
grandmother.
4.
My grandmother on my father's side was a big Cubs fan because of WGN. I respect her memory. She died in '88, so she never lived to see the Winter World Series.
Harry Carey.
But fuck the Cubs.
At number 4, Wade Davis. I mean, he did win the World Series with Kansas City, right?
Yep. One time. He also
And
got
number
a butt kick against the Giants, too.
And number 5, Zach Britton of the Yankees, formerly of Baltimore.
God.
I was going to say, I don't even remember.
There's too many Yankees on these lists, Elliot. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
You know what? I didn't make the list, and I didn't put the Yankees together, so that's your problem.
No, but that's probably why you put them together.
Brandon Rodney, number 6. You were close, Bob. David Robertson, number 7.
Yankees.
Yeah, David Robertson was probably one of the best setup pitchers of all time, but he kind of languished in the shadow of Mariano Rivera.
Right?
Yes.
You know what I'm
everybody
saying?
knows.
Right?
How come I can't hear y'all now?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
I don't know.
Gotcha.
Oh, no. Come on, Elliot. What'd you do, Elliot?
I didn't do anything, dude. I haven't even touched my phone.
Can you hear it now?
Blame Canada.
Right?
Volume. I got all my volumes are turned up.
Can you hear me now? Your phone is frozen.
Can you guys hear me?
I hear you.
Yep.
Very well. We'll get through it.
All right. How's
Try
it look?
again.
How you sounding, Elliot?
I can hear you now.
All right, good.
Okay.
Split personality, Jim.
Number 8, Greg Holland. Number 9, Tyler Clippard. And at number 10, Mariano Rivera.
10.
10.
The greatest relief pitcher of all time is number 10. Well, we guess it's because it's the last decade.
He only played 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, see, Jen, the
rest of those guys should be embarrassed that he's even on the list.
Yeah. All right. Janelle and Jen are bringing up good. All right, let me let you know. He cannot hear us on his laptop, so he has to actually put his phone in play so that we can hear him. That's the problem.
Yep.
You know what's funny?
What's that,
I
John?
have an excuse.
What's that?
My internet is crap.
Yes.
What's Elliot's excuse?
My excuse?
User error. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
No, it's technical difficulties, man.
Yeah.
It was working all fucking week until now.
Yeah. Elliot, you're gonna want to put your phone face down so we don't see two of you.
See, there you go.
Okay.
Honorable mention.
Elliot. It's okay, buddy.
Honorable mention: John Axford, Dylan Betances, Steve Kishek, Mark Melanson, Andrew Miller, Darren O'Day. There's a lot of people's favorite.
Andrew Miller, thank you.
Jonathan Papelbon, Francisco Rodriguez, Houston Street, Tony Watson, and Brad Ziegler.
Miller time, who is no longer with the Indians, but I don't care. I like him anyway. All
right. And now it is
top 10 managers of the decade,
it
2010 to 2019.
Managers, yeah.
John Gibbons.
I'm out. I couldn't even tell you who managed what team.
All right, here's the nominees. Dusty Baker, Dave Roberts, John Farrell, Joe Girardi, AJ Hinch, Bruce Bochy, Joe Madden, Terry Francona, Ned Yost, and Bob Melvin.
So Gibbons didn't even make the list.
No.
Okay.
Why would he? What did they
because
do in the
they only
decade?
made it back-to-back ALCS championships in the mid-decade. I mean,
Did they make it to the World Series?
No. Don't piss him off, Elliot.
I'm not trying to.
It's okay. It's
He's making an argument, and I'm rebutting. That's a big
Jen,
deal.
what kind of wine? Ken wants to know.
I'm having a very tasty cup of coffee myself.
You get coffee?
All right. So Let's get through this, guys.
All right.
Bruce Bochy, number 1.
Really?
He won 3 World Series in the freaking decade. What do you want? Him and Buster Posey ate it up in the decade.
Terry Francona. End of story.
At number 2, Joe Madden.
I like me some Joe Madden. I don't like the fact that he beat my Indians, but I do love me some Joe Madden.
I knew you would.
Yes.
He was great down here in Tampa.
He was great in Tampa. We loved him in Tampa. He still has ties to Tampa. He still does community service down here in Tampa. But, Joe, you broke my heart by beating the Indians. You just broke my heart.
I'm sure he broke his bank account, too. Anyway, at number 3, Terry Francona.
Thank you, Terry Francona. We love you, Terry Francona. You're going to bring a championship to the Indians. I promise. I hope. God, I'm praying. Please.
Yeah, but you know what? Their name won't be the Indians when they do.
Correct. Yeah, they won't be. Ken says excellent choice, Jen, in case you didn't hear him.
Excellent choice. Ned Yost at number 4. I mean, he won a Kansas City World Series, right?
Yeah, one.
But how many managers in Kansas City won a World Series?
It's true.
Buddy of mine should have.
Bob Melvin at number 5. The entire decade with Oakland. Oakland, you know what? They come in looking like shitty teams, and by the end of the season, they're a fucking contender every year.
Moneyball. Hello, Moneyball.
I'm telling you, that takes management as well. Bob Melvin.
Cito Gaston.
Cito Gaston. Wrong decade, John.
That was the 90s, John. What are you doing?
I'm living in the 90s, buddy.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's your internet and the
my internet. Yeah, exactly. The music I listen to.
You're living in the 90s. All right.
Living for the 90s, living in the wild, wild west.
6 through 10, A.J. Hinch, Joe Girardi, John Farrell, Dave Roberts, Dusty Baker.
You know what? I love me some Dusty Baker. I really do. Dusty Baker with his toothpick and is just mild-mannered, and I love Dusty.
I loved him when he was a player, too.
Correct. Yes. I love Dusty Baker. I love Dusty
Honorable mention for the decade, Bud Black, Kevin Cash, Terry Collins, Alex Cora, except he's a
Alex Cora.
I think that was put up before they found out he was
I would
cheating.
think so, yes.
Ron Gardenhire, Clint Hurdle, Tony La Russa, Jim Leland, Mike Matheny, Don Mattingly, Mike Scioscia, Buck Showalter, and Ron Washington.
Is Jim Leland still alive?
Yeah, he's somewhere. I think he has a house in Pittsburgh somewhere.
You know what? When I think of Jim Leland, I always think of 92 NLCS, and they lose in 7 games to the Braves.
Yeah. Sid
Bream, the man who can't run, scored from second base.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy.
Yes.
But Barry Bonds almost
scoring from second base.
But he almost got him, though.
Yeah.
He almost got him, though.
Barry was actually loved in Pittsburgh because he was from Pittsburgh area.
Right. But he beat your Pirates in the NLCS, buddy. I'm sorry.
Look, Sid Bream was so fast they had to time him with a calendar. Yo. Come on now.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, guys. So I'm going to run through some quick on this day birthdays.
Quickly. Yes, go ahead.
All right.
On this day, June 29th, which was Monday, 2 birthdays to celebrate. Joe Johnson, former basketball player, played for Brooklyn, the Suns, and a few other teams. He played for Atlanta, too, didn't he, Ken?
I believe so, yes.
Joe Johnson? Yeah. And John.
Yo.
Say happy birthday to Kawhi. He just turned 29.
My drug player.
John's favorite NBA player.
He turned 29 on Monday.
That old bastard.
On Tuesday, June 30th, we got the Olympic phenom Michael Phelps in 1985.
What a beast.
And in 1966, he was the Iron Man, Mike Tyson.
Wow.
And he's looked like a beast now. He still looks like he could kick somebody's ass.
54 years old.
That dude can kick your ass with his pinky finger, man.
Exactly. He's getting back in shape. Wants to get back into the ring with Evander Holyfield, John. We talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Man.
God, it's scary.
Terrifying.
Wednesday, July 1st. The worst national anthem ever sung. This guy's born 1961. His name is Carl Lewis.
I think Roseanne's was worse than Carl Lewis. I mean, Carl Lewis was bad, but
Carl Lewis just totally fucking pro, dude. He forgot the fucking words. This is an Olympic gold medalist, and he can't remember the words to the fucking anthem of his own country?
Yeah, he got in the middle of it and froze and couldn't remember.
He might as well just kneel while he's at it.
Right, there you go.
All right, and in 1966, the other half of the McEnroe brothers, Pat, was born.
Patrick McEnroe.
And for the Colorado Rockies in 86, Charlie Blackmon celebrated a birthday on July the 1st.
Happy birthday.
Got COVID for it.
Yeah, there you go. He got COVID for it. All right, and July 2nd, we've got Joe Thornton, NHL, Joe Thornton.
Yes.
From St. Thomas, Ontario.
There you go. John knows Joe Thornton. Yes, he does.
1979.
There you go.
Yeah.
Joe Thornton in his beard.
I am older than Joe Thornton. What have I done with my life? Nothing.
A lot more than he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he just turned 41. So.
No, jeez. Yeah.
All right, 1964. The brothers Canseco, Jose and Ozzy.
Wow.
They're twins?
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were twins.
Yeah.
Obviously, the baseball load went to Jose.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yes, they are twins.
And the greatest low under-the-radar quarterback of all time, 1985, Chad Henne.
Oh, God. Couldn't beat Ohio State, but that's all right. We're going to go there.
All right, July 3rd. That was
Thanks for reminding me.
that was Friday. Friday, we got Moises Alou.
Yes.
Yes.
1966.
Yes.
1966.
Felipe and Moises Alou.
Yes.
1967. The leader of the evil empire, Brian Cashman.
Oh, God.
And two hockey players for you, back to back. 1968, Teppo Numminen.
Tempo Numminen. Wow. There's a name.
That name. And in 1970, Teemu Selanne.
Teemu Selanne.
Selanne.
Yes.
The Finnish Flash.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Timo is 50 years old, huh?
Wow.
All right, July 4th. The other Grant brother, Harvey, not Horace. 1965. In 1967, Mexican-born Vinny Castilla.
Vinny Castilla. All right.
I think he played
him?
for the Jays, didn't he?
Yeah.
Rockies and
Rockies.
the Jays, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, he was known as the boss, George Steinbrenner. Would have turned 90 this year
On July 4th?
Wow.
on July 4th.
He was born on the 4th of July.
Yep.
Born on the 4th of July.
Personal note, I have a sister who lives in Milton, Florida, which is just outside of Sarasota, not Sarasota, Pensacola. Her birthday
Okay,
was the 4th of July. I have a sister who's born on the 4th of July.
And today-
Born on the 4th of July.
And today's birthdays are as follows. 1951, Rich Goose Gossage.
Goose.
Goose.
Just turned 69 today.
Happy
In 1956, Green Bay Packers ought to know this guy, James Lofton.
Yes. Jimmy Lofton. Yes. One of Brett Favre's favorite targets.
I'm waiting, John.
In 1969, John LeClaire, NHL.
Nice.
Yes, the Flyers, baby.
I'm sorry. James Lofton was with the Bills. I apologize. Go ahead.
Yeah, what are
Yeah.
we talking about?
I don't know. I'm dumbass.
He was with the Bills, and then he played for Green Bay, right? After
Yeah,
that?
I think with the Green Bay after the Bills. Excuse me.
No, it was he played for Green Bay first.
Oh, did he?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
1970
was better with the Bills than he was with Green Bay, but that's okay.
1973, Michael Sikora.
Michael Sikora.
He's a hockey player, isn't
Yes, he is.
It sounds like a hockey player.
he? Yeah.
I'm dumbfounded that none of you guys knew him. NHL
No,
guys.
I know. I'm Canadian. I gotta know hockey players.
And I'm glad you said you're Canadian because finally a Canadian-born birthday in 1981, Jesse Crane was born.
Does John know who Jesse Crane is?
I have no idea who Jesse Crane is. Who's Jesse Crane?
That's okay. He's from Canada, dude. That's all you need to know.
Middle reliever, right?
And what?
He was middle reliever, right? Jesse Crane.
Jesse Crane? No. You're thinking about a different Crane. Jesse Crane was an outfielder.
Okay.
For who?
That I don't remember. I think he might have played for the Blue Jays for a little while.
Ooh, John doesn't know him. Ooh.
I'm googling him now. Jesse Crane.
Yeah, it'll take you 20 minutes to bring up that page, though, John. That's just
Dude, it's still loading. Please hold. Please hold.
At least it's not making that screeching noise.
I know.
Whenever you do this next week, on Friday, you better remember to add Bob the Beer Man to that list.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Happy birthday, Bob.
40 what?
Happy birthday, Bob.
What's that?
40 what?
5?
45?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, Jesse Crane was a pitcher for the White Sox and the Twins.
There you go. Yep.
The Twins. Okay.
And Tampa.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I remember him playing for Tampa.
Yeah. He's from Toronto.
Yes,
Good
Bob.
kid.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Buy you a beer.
So it's 1975, right?
Yes.
God, I was 9 years old.
And on this day in 1998, Toronto Blue Jays pitcher Roger Clemens collects his 3,000th career strikeout in a 2-1 win versus
Yay,
Tampa.
Clemens. Yay.
Hey, Roger. Yay.
Yay, Roger. Yay.
Pete Sampras is on here. He retained his talent against Goran.
Oh, wow. Jesse Crane was an all-star.
Ivanisevic. In 1993, Ricky Henderson led off both games of an Oakland doubleheader with Cleveland with home runs.
Oh, sure. Thanks. Thanks. He did that just for me. I know he did.
I figured I'd leave that one for you at 3. What? We're already past.
We're already past 8:30. That's the last thing you're gonna put on the.
I saved the last bomb for you.
All right, guys.
Happy birthday.
What a fun show this was.
All right, as John sits there at 10 o'clock in his time.
Yes.
10
o'clock.
Thank you guys for showing up. John, it's good to have you back. Hopefully you'll have a better connection next week.
What do you mean? It's great. You don't have to see me. You see the faces I'm making every time you guys say something.
I can only imagine.
Right. So we're going to close it up again for another week of the Sports Nerd. Look at John. He took his hat off. I love it.
I took my hat off, bro. I'm not trying to impress him. I shaved my head today, man. Look, I'm good to go.
Man.
Nice.
Cleaned up.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I actually shaved today too. So
how was your Dora Explorer mission? Dora the Explorer mission across Canada.
Well, I saw a bear.
You saw a bear.
One bear.
A bear.
A bunch of deer. I was dodging deer basically the entire prairies.
Oh dear! There's a bear.
Yeah.
I remember a picture showing how flat.
I almost killed a fox.
I remember a picture showing how flat a certain province was in Canada.
Both. Yeah. Saskatchewan and Manitoba. There's nothing.
There's no mountains whatsoever.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's all flatlands.
It's North Dakota, South Dakota. Well, the Dakotas have got mountains.
Well, picture Florida, only colder. Exactly.
It's horrible.
All right.
But
well, guys,
it was cool.
Great
and
show.
next week we're going to complete that greatest teams of all time.
Greatest teams of all time. Whoa.
You remember the one that we had started and then continue?
Right. Yeah. So this should be interesting. Are we doing baseball again or?
No, it's all different sports.
Okay.
The top 25 teams within a particular season in history. So like we had
92, 93 Jays.
The Detroit Red Wings were number 25. I forget what the years were. But we're gonna finish that. We're gonna finish that poll next week.
Okay.
And next week I'll revive some NBA and NFL polls.
Good deal. Good deal. Should be more interesting this week. Now that we're done with baseball, John will be more interested in going into it.
Hey, I threw in as many Blue Jays references as I could.
I appreciate it, man. Blue Jays and Expos, you're good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, guys, thank you for a great show. John, good to have you back. I'm glad you're safe. Sorry about your quarantine. And looking forward to next week. Thank you, everybody that showed up. All 6 of you, I appreciate it as well. We are the Sports Nerds on behalf of my co-hosts.
Hey, man, some of us love this show so much we show up twice, okay?
Right? On behalf of my co-hosts, Elliot Big E Lamba, John Olson, Ken Coslow, and Bob the Beerman Pizer, I am Scott Wright, the Sports Nerds. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Hey, wait. Did John lose his Toronto World Champ sign? Where is it?
Wait, did you lose your?
Oh, it's around. It's just packed. This is my grandfather's mug.
There you go. There you go.
So I'm drinking
we
coffee.
We missed the little card that you made up with Toronto Raptors are still the NBA champions.
Oh, I got it. I can go get it.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay.
That's all right.
It's all good.
It's in a box.
We'll give you till next week to find it.
Right. At least I mentioned it this week. All right. It's all All right, guys. Have a great week. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for joining us, everybody. We're out till next Sunday. Peace out.